Hi there, I'm Jeff Conover. I'm the creative director for Puppetry and Articulation with Walt Disney Imagineering. And we are here with our Hydras from the Hercules show.
So I was telling somebody about seeing the Hydras last night and how, all of a sudden their heads got cut off and they went away, and then they came back and then their heads were cut off again, and Hercules comes and
They kept regenerating.
Hercules is eaten by one and he cuts his way out, and it just sounds so crazy, but it actually happened. So I can imagine that must have been difficult to...
So imagine being faced with that little challenge, a year and a half ago when we start looking through the script and we're like, well, how are we going to achieve this? As I was saying earlier, I was looking through some of the archives of the process that when we started creating these things a year and a half ago. And we started with basically foam core mock-ups just to establish the scale, what we think the scale is going to be. And then we started designing what the character might look like. We strayed a little bit from the film. And because we're in a theater setting, a theatrical setting, we oftentimes do that with our characters. But there was a more practical reason for straying from the IP, and that was because, as you said earlier, he has to eat a human being, in this case, Hercules. So we needed to make sure that they were big enough and had the right proportions to actually eat a human. So and then we mocked it up out of foam, just regular, good old-fashioned mini cell foam, and just to see it dimensionally. And we started workshopping it from there. And then the next challenge was, okay, well, we think we can eat somebody. How do we chop their heads off and have them regenerate? So it was a year of just iterating and playing with that concept and figuring it out. And here we are a year and a half later, and we're finally doing it. We're doing it 3 times a week.
That's amazing.
Actually, 6 times in some cases, so depending on the length of the cruise, and if there's a matinee. So.
And it's only on the Disney Destiny.
Only on the Disney Destiny. We're really hoping this show might find another home, as some of our other shows do on subsequent ships. But these guys, I think the scale of them on their own is impressive. And that was one of the big challenges, was how are we going to make something of scale, make it puppeteerable and performable, and make it safe for our performers, which is always a challenge. Is weight and size is they don't usually work well together. So we have a lot of materials in here that they use in aerospace. Carbon fiber, it's finding its way in regular consumer goods now, but carbon fiber is really lightweight. And then a lot of the impact areas, because when they get their head chopped off, has to fall to the stage. A lot of our impact areas, like these high spots, are all made out of mini cell foam.
Okay.
So the whole puppet weighs about 22 pounds, believe it or
not.
So,
wow.
Yeah, if you showed up at the airport with your suitcase and you weighed at 22 pounds, you'd be like, how's that possible? But we ended up doing it.
You continue to surprise me. Well, thank you. That was definitely a highlight. We enjoyed that very much.
I'm happy that it was. It is for me, I can say. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, you're welcome.